Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. It's Wednesday the 26th of February and we've got crazy new mods today, loads of mods out. We've got some updates. The Fiat 80 series by JDM96 has had an update. The modular map by Fernand24 has had an update. The Vaderstadt Rapid 300C 400C by Matt26 has had an update. Somerset Farms by Steve's Mods has had an update. That should be working with seasons now. The Big Brute 425 100 by Black Sheep Modding has also had an update. We have a brand new Geo today, Central Poland by Z84, and then we move in to the mods for today. Right in front of us we have got these. This is the Fiat 1000 series pack by Dale's Farmer. I like these a lot. They look fantastic. I mean, it's a little bit of a twist on the standard 1300 we've got, isn't it, in game? There are a lot of options. Look at the size of the tyres on the back of that. We've got a two-wheel drive option and an all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive option, but the four-wheel drive, I mean, that comes with some serious options and not too expensive either, which is absolutely fantastic. They look brilliant, as you can probably already see. We'll find these under small tractors. The standard in game one is 10 slots. You get the 1300 DT for 59 grand. Scrolling across, we get the 1000 series two-wheel drive for 26,500 for the base model. Then the 1000 series all-wheel drive for 32,500. 22 slots each for the first one. I know it says 2 there, but I've got 1 of each, so that's why that slot count has dropped. On the two-wheel drive version, we can change the rim colour. You can have worn white, restored white. Now if you have the restored versions on any of these, it puts the price up, keeps the price much lower if you have the worn version. So if I go with, for example, the restored grey, yeah, it's a little bit on there, not a huge amount, but the worn ones do look worn compared to the restored. The restored is much more kind of glossy in colour, and then we've also got a black there as well. We've got the main colour we can change. We can have, again, this makes a big difference. The worn orange or restored orange, that'll add 10 grand on if you go for the restored. So you might as well just keep it on the worn. It really, I mean, unless you want a pristine looking tractor. But then we've got this mint green, very minty fresh. And again, you can have that as worn or restored. And then we've got design colour. We've got the options of white, again, worn, restored, black, but this changes the roof section, so you can have the whole roof section a completely different colour if you want to. Yeah, I mean that's a nice touch. You can have it matching if you want, or just go completely the other way, you know, different, you know, however you want to go with it. But yeah, so there's a few options available there. Under configuration, at the front end here, we've got standard, we've got a 100 kilogram front weight, a 700 kilogram front weight, back to standard. And then we're on to, our tyres. We've got trailer bogs, and under trailer bogs we can have standard, we can have wheel weights, wides, wider still, more flotation I think, wides, and then a flotation tyre. Extra wides, which look rather cool. So that's your wide, flotation and kind of extra wide. Rear twins, narrows, back to standard again. If we go back up, we've got Nokians. Then we've got Michelin, standard, wide, extra wide. I love that. That looks brilliant. Wheel weights, rear twins, standard. Then under Mitas, we've got standard, wheel weights, rear twins, back to standard again. And then Lizard, we can have crawler track. Now, on the two-wheel drive version, you can only have crawler tracks on the back, because obviously it's rear-wheel drive. There's no front-wheel drive on there, so you would have the tracks on there. Then we've got an option of, we can have no beacon light, left front, left rear, right rear, both front, both rear, diagonal, either way. I've never seen that option before, the diagonal. Then we've got design. We've got standard, exhaust, we've got a stainless steel exhaust, or we've got a straight stainless steel exhaust. Then back to standard. Then we get the engine setup. We've got a 1000 DT at 110 horsepower, 1300 at 150 horsepower, and the 1300 DT tuned 185 horsepower. All of that with the crawler tracks 44,250. So those are your options on the two-wheel drive. What does it sound like? It sounds great. I love it with those massive tyres on the back. It looks absolutely brilliant. So, lights, rear, all off. Beacons, I went for diagonals on this one. No particular reason why. L1, R1 and right stick up and down will open and close the front window. Right stick side to side will open and close the rear window. Like so. L1, R1 and left stick side to side opens and closes the door. Very nice animations indeed. Horn. Oh, that's a bit of a throaty horn for a small tractor, like that. Inside, pretty sparse as you'd expect, but nicely detailed. This is a nice mod. I like it, and the price isn't too bad, considering you can go up to 185 horsepower. And that, with the crawler track, was 44 grand. That's incredible. Right, so that's the two-wheel drive option. Then we move on to the all-wheel drive or the four-wheel drive option, which is this one right here. All the other options on it are the same. We can change the configurations on the cab, the colours, the rims, the lights. Everything else is exactly the same. So I'm probably not going to go through all those options again on there. It's a little bit more expensive to start off with, but no big deal. I think the one big change is going to be here. No, configuration is the same. We've got 700 or the 100. It's under tyres. I'm pretty sure the tyre options are the same. Yeah, but obviously they're wide all round because you've got the four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive option. So when they go chunky, they go really chunky. And you've got twin wheels all the way around, narrows, back to standard. Under knock-ins, pretty much just the communal. Then Michelin's, we've got standards, reversed front tread, wides, extra wides. That does look cool on extra wides as well. Wheel weights, rear twins, twins all round, back to standard. Then miters, standard, reverse front tread, wheel weights, rear twins, twins, back to standard. And then the Lizard, crawler track rear, crawler track all round. I think it looks great with the crawler track all round, although I do like the big flotation tyres on it as well. It does look very, very cool. Very aggressive kind of stance for a fairly small tractor, realistically. Again, we've got all the other options on beacons and diagonals and doubles and front and rear and that kind of thing. Design, again, we've got standard exhaust, stainless steel or straight exhaust. Engine size is the same, go up to the 1300 DT tuned at 185 horsepower, but the crawler track, I think it looks brilliant. But all the colour options are the same. Design too, we can change the cab colour again. Various different options available. Love the gear shift sound. Top speed of 23 miles an hour. Horn, exactly the same. Very cool indeed. Very cool indeed. So that's the Fiat 1000 series pack by Dale's Farmer. I can see that being introduced into a Let's Play fairly soon. Behind, very cool. Behind we have got this. This is the MAN or MAN TGS 18500 Bale Transport Auto Load. There are two versions of this. We can have it for round bales or square bales. Square bales, it does 28. Round bales, we'll double check. I think it's 30, maybe 32. Over the cab design as well. I mean, I like it a lot. I like the concept. You see them about a fair bit in the UK, especially with the sort of bales stacked over the cab kind of thing. Downside is with this compared to having a trailed one, is that the truck is attached. You can't do anything about that. So you are going to buy this only for bale transport. Doing it with a trailed one, you can use the truck for something else when you're not just pulling a bale trailer. So, you know, it's got its pros and its cons. Looks very nice. Nice, neat, tidy mod. This one is... I said, didn't I? Didn't write down who this one was by. How very remiss of me. This is by Bart NLD Community. I do apologise. I didn't write that down on my sheet. But yeah, very nice. Trailer hitch on the back, so you can run a bale trailer off the back of that if you want to as well. In the store, you'll find this under trucks, and the two options there. How many bales? Oh no, it's 40 round bales. There's me saying 32. 40 round bales. That's pretty cool. So yeah, 28 square or 40 round bales. We'll have a look at the round bale option. Doesn't make a lot of difference which one you look at. We can change the rim colour to any of those on the list that you might want to go for. We can change the main colour, which changes the cab. And then we can change the design colour, which changes the load bed to be whatever you want it to be. Obviously you're not going to go for the United Colours of Benetton like I am then. We've got option Trelleborg or Lizard, just more the smooth road tyres compared to the grippy kind of Trelleborgs. And then we've got the option of the TGS 18500 at 500 horsepower or the 18500 Turbo at 875 horsepower. That's going to have plenty of pulling power. That's not going to be a problem at all for hills and that kind of thing. So those are your options available on it. Now, unlike some of the other bale trailers and things we've got which are auto-load, this one's a little bit peculiar. I'm going to open up the menu. See, what normally happens is you put it into transport position like so, and you drive it around. Now what you would normally do is you unload onto the load bed. So at the moment it's what I've always referred to as an ethereal bale. It's there but it doesn't have any weight or consistency, and normally you unload it onto the trailer so then it has weight and consistency, and then you can put the straps on it. Problem is, if you try to unload it now, it doesn't unload onto the load bed. I'll show you what I mean. So L1 and triangle, it automatically puts them to the side. Now what you often find with the bale trailers that are auto-load, if you do unload bales here, you can then manually move them either side and put them wherever you want to. It doesn't give you that option. If I press abort unloading now, it doesn't put them back on the cab or back on the trailer. If I press X, they stay there. I can drive, but they don't go back on. I've got no way to manipulate those. I'm trying to move the bales and it won't let me. So what I have to do now is unload them, like so. Unload them there. They've now unloaded and dropped all over the floor, which is fine. So when you want to unload them, that's what you're going to do, but you don't really have a lot of choice in the matter, so you need to be a little bit careful about where you're going to do it. Then for loading them up, same as normal, we come back over, take it from transport position to operating position, L1 and square, on they all go. And the problem being, because you can't unload them onto the trailer itself, you can't use the straps. There are tie downs, fasten and unfasten tension belts, but they just go on the bottom there. Normally when you unload the bales onto the platform itself, then the straps will go over the top, but it's not giving me the option to do that. Potentially I suppose you could use this for pallets and stuff as well. You tend to find auto-load trailers don't like stuff unless it's auto-load, but there you go. I mean, it will transport your bales around. I think I won't. I mean, it's quite high-sided, so be careful. This is not going to be one you can whiz round corners at 50 miles an hour kind of thing. You could well topple it, but it's not bad. We've got beacons over the cab, one beacon at the rear, lights, rear, and the main beam kind of work lights over the top as well. Horn, throaty horn, not bad. In cab, I keep getting this little bit of flashing every now and again. A couple of times I've been in cab now, but doors don't open or anything like that. You get what you get. It's a very cool mod. Looks good. It's just the unload bales thing, I think. It may be a bit of a... not a problem, it's not a major issue, but if I do it again now, unload bales, it just automatically goes to that. I've got no way of manipulating those bales around any other way. So I would just unload them here, unload bales here, and away we go. Back to transport position. And there we go. So that's the MAN TGS 18500 Bale Transport auto load. Cool. We'll close off that menu. What we're going to go to next, this one over here. I'm going to bring over one of the tractors to have a look at this in a second. This is the Horsch Serrano 5 FM. This is by Baki. This is a 4.8 metre cultivator. We do have a few. If you've got the Horsch aggravation pack, there are a few Horsch cultivators already. We've got the Joker and a few others. The Serrano, I believe, was it an FS19? I can't remember, I'm off the top of my head. It's a nice tidy mod, very neat. Obviously it's longer than it is wide. 3-point link hook like that. You'll find this under cultivators here. If we scroll across, right at the very end, 23,000. Requires 205 horsepower. Actually, I don't think one of my tractors will do that. 4.8 metres. This is 5 slots, which isn't too bad. Oh, that MAN, oh sorry, the MAN TGS truck was 21 slots. For either one of those, though, it was 21 slots. Sorry, I do apologise. Yeah, so this one is 5 slots, which isn't too bad. There are no options available. You get what you get. You get your cultivator. I'm going to grab a tractor, and then I'll just show you it being used. I'm going to try it with the Fiat. I don't know if it will work. It requires 205 horsepower. This technically doesn't have enough horsepower. It might come up and say I can't, but I don't see why it wouldn't let me, but you never know. It's not powered or driven, it's just whether it's just got enough oomph to pull it. Right, drop it down. Of course it has. I don't know if it'll do too well on hills, but this is a mighty little tractor. But there you go, the cultivator doing its job. Nice animations, working well. Raise it up, fold it up. Very nice indeed. Next, we've got this. This is the Flegel VFW 25,000. This is also by Baki today. This is a slurry spreader. There's no option for attachments or anything like that on it. It's 25,000 litres and it's not too expensive either. It's designed to be pulled, well, I say designed to be. It's a fifth wheel or trailer hitch, truck hitch, semi hitch, whatever you want to call it. But you can obviously do it with a dolly, if you want to do it with a dolly, which is what I did because I have my tractors down here anyway, so I thought I'd try it with the dolly. But you can do it with the truck if you want to. That is of course entirely your choice. This you'll find under slurry tanks, and the reason I say this is quite a good, a very good one, 25,000 litre capacity for only 32,000 to buy, and it's got a 20 metre spread width on it as well, which is fairly big in reality. I mean, 20 metres is pretty cool. Like I say, 25,000 litre capacity. When you look at some of the other ones we've got, 21,000 litre there for 70 grand. You know, some of them 142 grand for a 25,000 litre there. So I think it's pretty good, I'll be totally honest with you. Not too bad at all. Options available. There are none. You get what you get. There's no colour options or changes or choices like that. Requires 200 horsepower pull. I'm going to grab the JCB for this one, I think. Look that up. I've taken the liberty of already filling it up. Turn it on. That's pretty cool, that. Turn it off before we cover the Serrano in in Slurry. So there you go, 25,000 litre capacity, 20 metre spread width. Cheap as chips. That's a nice mod, that. Very cool indeed. So that's the Flegel VFW 25,000 by Baki. Moving on. We have got this. A jet wash, you say? We've already have a jet wash. We do. Now, I have a problem. I thought the same thing. Well, okay, we've got the Karcher FS19 which we already have. If we go into our placeables, and in our miscellaneous, the first one there is the Karcher HDS918-4M, 4500, and that is a placeable. So you put that down, wherever you place it is where it stays. Now, this one comes under miscellaneous, so it's technically like a vehicle. So if we get it, weirdly it still comes up like a placeable, and this is why I'm a bit baffled with this one, because you place it and it does say in the Modhub very clearly, and I will just read this out to you. It says Karcher is a high pressure washer. You can clean dirty vehicles and tools. In addition of the basic mod of the game, which is the one we just looked at, it was added the possibility to transport anywhere the machine. So the point with this being, you're supposed to be able to transport it wherever you want. It works exactly the same as the normal jet wash. We spray away, and then we put it away. Fantastic. Now it does give you the hand icon comes up, but if I open up the help menu, it says object too heavy. I can't pick it up. I can't move it. It's not giving me any option to move this. I've tried pushing it, I've tried shoving it. I came over with a JCB, I tried hooking up with a 3-point link, I tried hooking up with a trailer hitch. It won't let me move it. It's not giving me any option whatsoever. It just keeps saying object too heavy. I believe the purpose is supposed to be that this is movable. You can pick it up, take it, drop it down, stick it in the back of a pickup, whatever you want to do with it, and jet wash whatever you want, wherever you want. Mobile car washing service, whatever you want to go with. But as it stands at the moment, it won't let me. So yeah, sad face. Anyway, that's the Karcher HDS 918-4M. That's by DD ModPassion. I'm not sure. I'm just wondering if I'm doing something wrong. I've tried the different options. It just keeps up saying object too heavy. Doesn't give me any other option. I thought maybe I had to get into it or something, maybe open it up like you used to do with the Lady Juno to be picked up or something, but no, I can't. I did think maybe it was something in the top there, but like I say, I've tried 3-point link, I've tried all sorts, but I could be doing something wrong. I just can't seem to work out what it is, so apologies on that. But there you go. That's that one. Moving on. Right. We've got some animal pens today. This one here, I need to get this one right because we've got a couple. This is the Cow's Barn by Daniel X321. There are two options available on this one. We've got the brick wall one, and there's one like a whitewashed kind of plastered wall one. This will only take 8 animals. It's designed to just be a small pen. It's very small, and there are a couple of issues I have found, just small ones. Lots of detail on it, very, very nice indeed. This is 17 slots to place. Doors open either end. Your animal dialogue box is around the back here. We can go up the top here and open up this door here. However, it opens into your route, so they don't fold all the way back. So you kind of have to go round on the railing a little bit. You can get into the top here, the loft, if you want to store anything up there. I'm not quite sure what you would, but milk point is down the bottom here. Slurry point is just here. Now this, interestingly, says open and close gate. I'll open up the menu. Close gate. It puts the cover on. Look, a roof on the top. Now, I don't think it's supposed to do that or not. If I do it again, it says open gate. Takes it back off again. Interesting little change on that, but that's what that does. Inside, when I came to do feed, the trigger for feed was here, but the door's very narrow. Even with one of the small trailers, I couldn't get in. I backed up and just about got the trigger to get feed in. The water trigger was this side as well. No, hang on. Take that back. This side was the water trigger. This side was the feed trigger. But I couldn't get the trailer all the way in. And as it stands at the moment, I haven't been able to get straw to work. I thought maybe straw was here, because this is a big open area and I can't find anything else on the help window coming up. So I thought, well, this has got to be for straw. I came over the trailer, I tried rear tip, side tip, grain door. I didn't get any option come up to tip straw, and I couldn't get a trigger to work inside here either side for straw. I think that's the feed trough, that's the water trough. So as far as straw goes, I couldn't get it to work. I'm assuming it's supposed to be this one here. But yeah, sorry about that. This you'll find under placeables, under animal pens. And like I say, there are two options available. It's 70 grand to buy. It's not cheap. Considering it only holds 8 animals. And that you get what you get. Did I say, yeah, 17 slots? So there you go. So potentially a problem with the straw trigger, but that could just be me. If it is me, I do apologise. Moving on. We have got this. This says in the Modhub small chicken shed. Incredibly detailed. This only holds 6 chickens. So it's a lot of building and a lot of detail for just 6 chickens. This is 20 slots, and this is by Gazani 317. The doors open and close, and then the bolts slide across and it closes, so it takes a little while for the door to open. We'll get there in a minute. Animal dialer box is right here in front, so although you've only got 6, so yeah, buying and selling will be done from there. Light switch was a tricky one and I had trouble getting it to work, but from inside I think I did. If I came back towards it, there we go, switch light on and off from there, but I couldn't get it to work from outside, weirdly. But I can close the gate on that one there. I say a lot of detail. 20 slots for just 6 chickens, I don't know. Textures are good, detailing is very nice indeed. It's not too expensive. This is also under placeables, animal pens. This one was on the end here, 20,000. Again, I think if people generally now are doing chickens, you go for a few more, but if you want to just go down the route of having a few, where the egg boxes come, I'm assuming it's in here, because I can't, there's no, I'm assuming it's in there because there's no kind of trigger point anywhere else around it. But there you go. So that's the small chicken shed by Kazani 317. Behind it we've got another mod by Kazani 317. Today this is the old shed. This is 2 slots. Just a shelter. Putting your vehicles under, or whatever you want under. Bales, things like that. Also by Kazani 317. I think this was 8,000. This is also under placeables, under sheds. Yeah, 8,000. There you go, it's a shelter. Does what it says on the tin. Moving on to the last of our mods for today, and there are 2 different versions. This is why I've got 2 out. This is the cattle stable. This is by Kamuhoro. These also do 8 cows in each. You've got this one here which has got a kind of covered feed area on the front, and then you've got this one here which doesn't have the covered feed area. Triggers were a little bit finicky on both of these as well, I'll be totally honest with you. Feed trigger wasn't too much of a problem, that was in here. The water trough is here, but on this one the water trigger I only got to work literally here. So yeah, I'm not quite sure why that was. Straw trigger is through here, so you open the gates, drive through, and you can do straw in there. We've got manure point there, and I assume one of these is for milk, one is for slurry. I assume this is slurry because it's right behind the manure, and I think this is the milk point. I'm pretty sure it is. So yeah, triggers were a bit finicky. This one doesn't have that covered bit. Straw is also done through here. Feed is done across the front here. The water on this one, the trigger came up over here. So it wasn't even on this bit, it was all the way over here I got the water trigger to come up. Very bizarre. The animal dialogue box... Oh, okay, it's not coming up now on this one. That's very odd. This one, the animal dialogue box is here. No, hang on, that's... Okay, what is happening? No, it's not. Ignore me. Animal dialogue box is just inside the gate there, sorry. Maybe that is supposed to be the water trigger then. Yeah, potentially. Like I say, this one though, I was kind of outside of it. Sorry, your dialogue box is inside here. There we go. Animal dialogue box, and you can do 8 in here. So, yeah, I mean, they're not huge. They're not designed to be. They're only supposed to do 8 animals. Yeah, triggers today seem to be off a little bit. I'm not quite sure why on some of these. But it always kind of throws you, because the water trough was this end, a bit if the trigger was that end. Because I thought that was the trigger for the water, but couldn't get it to work at all. So... yeah, up that end. These you will also find under placeables, under animal pens. Sorry if I'm rambling, I'm just trying to make sure I get through it all. So you've got the cattle stable single, then you've got the cattle stable. One's got the covered bit on the front. Is 14 slots, the single one is 12 slots. In essence, they both do the same job. It's just covered, that's all. But not too expensive either. These were fairly cheap compared to the other one down there, which was 70 grand. So, yeah, I mean, it comes down to whatever you particularly want to do. If you want to go for much bigger herds and stuff like that, you're not going to go for the smaller pens. But if you just want to have a go at a little bit of livestock and not go too mad, that, of course, is entirely your prerogative. So that's the cattle stables by Kamuhoro, and that, I believe, is it for the mods for today. I don't like to play favourites and say I've got favourites on mods at any particular release, but I do like these Fiats. I do like them a lot. Very cool. Anyway, I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.